I'm Greg Tepper. That's Greg Powers. This is This Week
in Curtain.
It's This Week in Recruiting with Greg Powers of Next Level Athlete. Follow him on Twitter at GPowersScout. Follow Next Level Athlete on Twitter, Next Level D1. See his fine work at TexasFootball.com/recruiting. And, of course, this is brought to you by our good chicken friends at Chicken Express. Chicken Express, a word to Chicken Express corporate. We're going to the Rio Grande Valley. And I don't want to speak for the people of the Rio Grande Valley, but your farthest south location is in Kingsville. Keep on coming. Keep on coming. Let's get one of those bad boys in, I don't know, Edinburgh. Edinburgh feels like a Chicken Express town to me. That's my thought.
I just want Power's thoughts on this.
Well, my thoughts are it's just going to be sweeter when you come back and you can enjoy the deliciousness of a chicken dindy.
Man, let me tell you, I'm looking at their map of where all their locations are. You're always within shouting distance. Like if you're within the state of Texas, unless you live like the only places that they're really nice. Like if you're in the Big Bend, you're gonna have to haul. The closest one to you is in Odessa, right? Like so, El Paso kind of out on an island as well. But like everywhere else, man, you might have to drive like 45 minutes, but you can get to some tendies. Anyway, thanks to Chicken Express.
Chicken Express radar now. Like whenever I'm somewhere, I know kind of where the closest one is.
You can feel it. It's like sonar. Like you're sending something out. It's like bing, 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 bing. Kind of bouncing back. It's like tendies. Anyway, it's This Week in Recruiting with Greg Powers and Next Level Athlete here on Texas Football Today. A lot to get to in the latest news and notes around the state of Texas. Let us start with our prospect on the rise. Yeah. San Antonio Veterans Memorial running back James Peoples. James Peoples has picked up a couple of offers this week, a trio of them. One from Baylor, one from Miami, and one from Ohio State. James Peoples there at San Antonio Veterans Memorial is blowing up. He's already run for 1,300 yards and 22 touchdowns this season for San Antonio Vets. He's already got offers from all over the place, and he's adding some big ones. James Peoples, the People's Champ.
I like it.
Thank you.
I think definitely a guy to get on your radar. Watching his tape, he really does well in the middle of the field. He doesn't exactly remind me of J.K. Dobbins, but the way that he runs in the middle of the field, his ability to cut and make people miss. He's a one-cut and dash type of back. You can see it right here on this highlight clip. That does remind me a little of J.K., and I guess I correlated that in my mind because of the offer from Ohio State this week. But that's not the only top program that's coming after him. He's got a long list of suitors already. I think he's hit a dozen offers with the latest run from this week. So he has some top schools coming after him, and he's already got some in-state schools pushing hard for his commitment as well. You know, Houston, SMU, TCU, Texas Tech, and UTSA have already extended him offers. So he's got plenty of options. And, you know, that San Antonio Vets team, they got some guys on that team right now. I mean, even looking at the quarterback's a big dude. So definitely a program on the rise, I think, down there in the San Antonio area.
Yeah, most certainly. Keep an eye on what they've got cooking, especially with a 2024 running back like James Peoples. Let's get to our commit of the week. Our commit of the week, we're going Houston way to talk about Aldi MacArthur's senior athlete Justin Williams, who has pulled the trigger to Rice. Hoot, hoot. The Owls and Mike Bloomgren get the services of three-star prospect Justin Williams. He picked them over Pitt, over Louisiana, and over Air Force. So he had at least one Power 5 offer, and Rice was able to reel in a local kid.
Yeah, no doubt. And he's listed as an athlete. I think that he's excelled a little bit more on the field this season as a wide receiver. He's a guy who can really stretch the field using his 6'3" frame to play over the top of defensive backs. But his ability to also flip over and play defense. As a matter of fact, we had him at the Next Level camp, and he played defensive back while he was there and looked pretty good. He's really long and rangy, but super athletic, and I think that agility speaks to his potential upside. I think the more I evaluate him, I think that he's going to be locked in probably as an offensive player, but it's never bad to have roster flexibility when you're a school like Rice and you're recruiting a prospect like Williams who could easily play on either side of the football and excel. So this is a pretty big pickup for the Owls, and I think that they're doing a pretty good job in their class for 2023.
Yeah, I'm comfortable saying that they will find a place for Justin Williams to play there for Rice. We're talking This Week in Recruiting with Greg Powers, Next Level Athlete, here on Texas Football Today. Get involved in the conversation, hashtag TF Today. Let's move on to our Underclassmen of the Week. Our Underclassmen of the Week is Katy Pato's sophomore quarterback, Dejon Pettaway. Dejon Pettaway has picked up an offer this week from Baylor. He's already got offers from A&M, from LSU, Ole Miss, UTSA. This is a guy who is the younger brother of Damian Sanford, the A&M commit, and also there on Pato, and a speed merchant, as they're fond of saying.
Yeah, no doubt. And what I really liked about Pettaway's film is his ability as a tackler. I mean, just a sophomore, he's not shy to run guys down, come up and lay a hat on someone, and he's only going to get better as he matures, right? 5'10", 165 now. He's that type of defensive back who's only going to get better because he's going to add size and mass as he plays in that program year over year. And I guess, Tepper, just in general, talking about what we do here on This Week in Recruiting, we kind of transitioned, I guess. This seems like it was the week. Like, the prospect on the rise is probably now going to be a 2024 prospect, and the underclassman of the week is probably going to be a 2025, 2026 prospect.
Congratulations to Dejon Pettaway under Baylor offer this week. Let's round it all out with our Recruit of the Week. Our Recruit of the Week, we're going to dive into the ballad of Colton Vasek, the outstanding four-star, borderline five-star defensive end in the DCTF Hot 100. We've got number 7, of course. The top 5 on our DCTF Hot 100 are 5 stars. Colton Vasek has been a hot topic. He is, of course, an Oklahoma commit, but he has a ton of ties to Texas, and he was at the Texas game this week. You always tell me, Powers, don't listen to what they say. Watch what they do. I'm watching what Colton Vasek does. And is Texas going to get a Red River flip here?
I think this is one that we have to watch really closely, and it's a name that I feel like we're really going to be talking about a lot as we lead up to the early signing period, because this isn't Vasek's first trip to Austin this season. He was also in town. Well, I mean, I guess he's in town all the time, but he was also on campus for the Alabama game as well. And, where there's smoke, there's usually fire. So this is something to keep a close eye on. His father, Brian, of course, played for the Longhorns. And you got to think that there's some pressure for him to stay at home. There's a lot of articles out there over the last few days where he spent some time with Arch Manning, the Longhorns' key 5-star quarterback commit, the number 1 player in the country by some recruiting services, who stayed in his ear while he was in Austin this past weekend. And it's just something to monitor. There's a lot of people who feel confident that he is going to make that move. He's going to pull the trigger and possibly flip. And, another guy who did a similar thing, committing to an out-of-state school, and then ended up flipping later in the cycle to the Longhorns and is starting as a freshman on the other side of the football, was former DCTF 5-star Kelvin Banks. So that's just something to watch. I'm telling you, we might have to talk about this a lot. It might be big news, but Vasek is going to be a hot topic until he puts his pen to paper and actually signs with the school. And we're going to have to gear up for that recruitment.
Who's always
you mentioned the 5-star thing?
Go ahead.
Yeah. Oh, well.
No, it's fine. I was going to do the transition. Go ahead. No, you have one more thing to say. Go.
It's a heated battle for those final 2 5-star spots. You have Jonte Cook, Jackson Arnold, Colton Vasek. All these guys are in the mix for one of those, 3 or 4 guys in the mix for one of those final 2 spots. Who's it going to be? And I will say now is the time to mash that subscribe button to get your copy of DCTF Rising magazine. Coming to stores soon. We're working on it now. Those 5 stars will be in that magazine.
Yeah.
He's Greg Powers. He's always closing. And he is our recruiting analyst here at Dave Campbell's Texas Football. Follow him on Twitter at GPowersScout. Follow Next Level Athlete on Twitter at Next Level D1. See his fine work at TexasFootball.com/recruiting. Powers, appreciate your time, my friend, and we'll see you next week. How about in studio?
All right, we'll see you then.